Two of the main reasons you may not know much about convicted murderer Kermit Gosnell are the media covered up the news and our general apathy toward America's abortion industry. The Gosnell case has been described as a true life saga of good versus evil, deadly medical malpractice, systemic government malfeasance, and the devaluing of the most vulnerable in our society. The Gosnell movie is now in theaters. But if we didn't know the writers got their information from actual court transcripts, police interviews, and FBI documents, the facts in this case would almost be unbelievable. Gosnell, the trial of America's biggest serial killer, was released last Friday nationwide. I saw it, I recommend it, and it is not graphic as you might think. But since the liberal media refused to cover the trial, it's no surprise they aren't reporting on the movie debut. But understand this. Here's the trial of a warped man who killed at least one woman and murdered babies that had been delivered alive. But the story was not of interest to a media wanting to protect so-called reproductive rights. The main reason some reporters forced themselves finally to go to the 2013 murder trial, a photo was taken in the courtroom of dozens of empty seats that were reserved for the press. Philadelphia abortion practitioner Kermit Gosnell was convicted and is now behind bars, serving 3 consecutive life sentences for a decades-long murderous crime spree. Now, a question many of us have asked was, why did this go on so long, and how could he have continued this horrific practice? Well, he was protected by Democrats in the Pennsylvania government. Here's a man who had untrained staff administer drugs that would induce labor, causing women to deliver babies they came to the clinic to abort, referred to as being born alive. The number of these babies, these live births, who were then murdered could be well into the thousands, as Gosnell had his business for over 30 years. Now, radicals on the left defend abortion at all costs as a sacrament to progressivism, even if it means whitewashing its bloody half-century legacy of mass genocide in our nation's inner cities. CRTV host and author Michelle Malkin writes, quote, "Operating under the cover of providing reproductive health services, Death Doc Gosnell brutally executed hundreds of healthy, living, breathing, squirming, viable babies by stabbing them in their necks and severing spinal cords with scissors and knives. This twisted murderer kept newborn baby feet in specimen jars, which he crammed into the grisly refrigerators of his filthy clinic for research." Now, there are several major problems that go beyond even the abortion issue. First, Gosnell would stash away thousands of dollars in cash per day, which apparently allowed him to purchase properties and even escape to the Bahamas once during an investigation into some of his abortion methods that sent many women to the hospital. Second, the Pennsylvania Department of Health did nothing to stop Gosnell and even looked the other way. His clinic was not inspected for, ready, 17 years. Listen, even a hair and nail salon gets annual inspections by the health department. According to actual FBI investigation into the FBI investigation into the filthy clinic in 1993, the Pennsylvania Department of Health decided to stop inspecting all abortion clinics, unless there were major complaints, of course. For political reasons now, government agencies allowed Gosnell and others to operate with no accountability, which put countless women at risk of infection, disease, and even death. And this is the party that cares about women's health? Now, ironically, the reason the police and FBI went into his abortion business in the first place was rampant prescription drug use. Gosnell and his staff sold drugs, prescriptions for women for cash, and even paid homeless people for their IDs so they could illegally buy more prescription meds. Gosnell was never charged for his drug crimes, nor was he charged for women overdosing, nor was he charged for allowing young and untrained clinic workers, including a 14-year-old, to perform procedures and also administer anesthesia, which led to the death of at least one woman. According to reports, Gosnell saved his late or full-term abortions for Sundays, when only his wife would assist him. He conveniently destroyed all those files, so how many live, full-term babies he killed is unknown. So no, this movie is not just about the brutal act of abortion and a woman's so-called right to choose. It's about media malpractice, a calloused cover-up by the government, evil being called good, and a nation that used to value human life but has become desensitized. Just because a court once decided abortion is legal does not mean it's moral. I'm David Fiorazo. God bless you, and keep speaking the truth about things that matter.